Lethabo started out as an exploration company, and we have since transitioned into mining as producers. Lethabo is 100% Black-owned, 100% South African-owned, and to date, we have been 100% self-funded, which means we have no external debt funding obligations. Lethabo is truly the first of its kind, with its director and executive body being local people born and bred in rural Limpopo in the district of Sekhukhune, and having mining rights for projects in greenfields in Sekhukhune. I think many of you here today, as well as those who are online, are familiar with the areas of Steelport, Begasfort, Leboagomu, Appel. That is Sekhukhune. That is home, and it's also home to our mining projects. Being local people from Sekhukhune and mining in our home area, our commitment to the development that we want to see there is personal because of the background that we have, and also being exposed to the poverty there. Lethabo is affiliated to Minerals Council South Africa, where we have been a member since 2020, and where I serve as one of the deputy chairpersons of the Exploration and Junior Miners Leadership Forum on the Junior and Emerging Miners Desk, and where last week at the Minerals Council AGM, I was also appointed as a board member of the council. Lethabo is associated to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, where we are participants in the current cohort on the Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program. On our end, our participation was sponsored by Minerals Council South Africa. This program is designed to grow the leader and to grow the business, so through means of accessing investors and capital, as well as including access to funding through the option of listing. This is essentially to increase our employment status as a nation, thus contributing to the economy. As Lethabo, the socio-economy which is within our immediate reach is that of Sekhukhune, Limpopo. Lethabo holds an executed mining right for iron ore, vanadium, chrome, platinum group metals, titanium, and andalusite on 3 farms respectively, 4 of these minerals being Limpopo strategic minerals. Our mining rights covers farms Malexkraal, farm Waterkop, and farm Mecklenburg. All these 3 farms are situated on the eastern limb of the Bushveld complex. For mining continuity, we have intentionally secured the mining rights on farm Waterkop and farm Mecklenburg because they are neighboring farms along the R37. While we secured the mining rights for iron and its byproducts on farm Malexkraal. The 3 farms together comprise of 8,370 hectares. As a self-funded company, from inception to date, our progress and project development has been dependent solely on the success of other non-mining related projects which we run and have used to provide capital. This is extremely difficult and challenging, especially because mining requires such high volumes of cash injection, not to mention the costs incurred to outsource expert opinion through consultants, geologists, and surveyors. Ours has been a long journey since 2007, when our first prospecting rights application was submitted to the DMRE, right up to this year when we finally executed our mining right. So that's after 16 years of being on the receiving end of bureaucracy, litigation, no access to funding, and limited access to markets. As an emerging mining company, being Black-owned and being women-led does not make us immune to the challenges which are common to the industry. Access to markets, access to capital, access to human capital, access to the DMRE's legitimate intervention at a regional level. We are too young of a company to even comment on access to rail issues. For the purpose of today's introduction to Lethabo Exploration, We are going to focus on one project, our iron ore project on farm Malexkraal. Of the 3 farms, this is the only site where we have done site establishment, completed the construction of a weighbridge, and begun with open-cast mining operations. Implementing this project was the result of several debates where we were faced with the fact that potential buyers were resisting to commit to a project that had no existing operations, while on the other hand, we had no access to project funding for mining. So we resorted to the simple business principle of starting where you are with what you have. Again, our success in other businesses that we run funded this project. We currently have just over 41,000 tons of iron ore on the surface, 5,000 tons of which is crushed and screened to the specs that meet the requirements of our first offtake agreement. We started where we were with what we had, started mining, attracted the attention of buyers, and secured an offtake agreement. On farm Malexkraal, the land is 1,484 hectares, located on the eastern limb of the Bushveld complex. That's approximately 60 kilometers northwest of Steelpoort. Access to the mine site occurs along a tarred road and then a gravel road made to access the mining site. Malexkraal has a healthy magnetite ore deposit comprising of iron and its byproducts such as titanium and vanadium. At Malexkraal, the main magnetite occurs within the magnetite heights. Historically, 15 vertical boreholes were drilled on the property, and the results were from Begersfort Mintech Laboratory. And other samples that we took from the from the stockpiles, which are a result of the open-cast mining that we've done, present results of iron at 52 to 66%. Funding is still required to carry out further studies on the longevity of the project. Lethabo is open to collaborating with other junior miners. We are open to supplying local mines who will carry out further processing on the ore for export, and certainly welcome follow-up discussions with investors and funders.